Hey there, everybody. So I don't know if it was today or yesterday. The PHWA. That's what my board said. The PHWA midseason awards were released yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure. Maybe today. I'm not sure. So these are the midseason awards by the Professional Hockey Writers Association. That's what it is. And I guess they vote in the midseason. Now, these used to be given all the way up until 1968 when they were discontinued. And they either changed the All Star game format or something, but it was incorporated into, I guess, who made the All Star team. I don't know. That's what I read. I don't know how that worked, but that's what I read. And then this was revamped for the 2017-2018 season. They started to do these midseason awards again. So they're just basically the same awards, although there's two in here that aren't real awards that the NHL actually gives out, but they should give these out. And I guess I'll explain it when I'm showing you them. So, like I said, they're the mid-season awards, top three players in each category, and by the Professional Hockey Writers Association. And I'll get my board out in just a sec. All right. So there's, I believe, 10 categories. Eight of them, like I said, eight of them are actual awards. The other two, there's the Rod Langway Award, which is for the best defensive defenseman, as opposed to the Norris, which usually goes to the best offensive defenseman. And I think the Rod Langway should be an actual award given out at the end of the year. And then there is, I think it's the comeback player award that they give out for the PHWA that the NHL doesn't actually, but they probably should give that one out. I believe that's the other trophy there, or the other award here that's different, that's extra. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Hart Trophy. In the Hart Trophy, Connor McDavid was voted first, Nathan MacKinnon second, and David Pasternak third. I think if the Oilers can clinch the division, can take the division, I think McDavid definitely wins the Hart Trophy at the end of the year. But I think if not, and I have a feeling by the end of the season, Colorado's McKinnon is going to actually win the award. Um, but like again, I said, if McDavid can get the Oilers to the top of the division by the end of the season, I think he wins it. But otherwise, I do think it's going to go to McKinnon. The Norris Trophy, John Carlson voted first in midseason. Roman Yossi, that's his name, Roman Yossi, and Dougie Hamilton. For Dougie Hamilton to stay in this to the end of the season, I doubt it because of his injury. He broke his leg, fibula, something like that, and he's out for. I'm not sure if he's coming back, so I think that's gonna be a problem for him to stay there. Um, I think by the end of the season, I don't think anyone's going to take it away from John Carlson. But I guess Roman Yossi, maybe he could, but I think Carlson will win it. I have no other reasons than just saying that. Sorry. The Frank Selke Trophy is Sean Couturier from Philadelphia, Patrice Bergeron from Boston, and Ryan O'Reilly from St. Louis. Of course, doesn't have Phil Deneau. He's not a top three yet. So I think it should probably stay with Couturier. I think he's doing a great job there in Philadelphia, especially this year. It seems like the Selke Trophy goes to the defensive forward, but he's got to score more than like Deneau does. Bergeron, I believe, has won this maybe the most of any player ever. He's 5 or 6 times, something like that. And Ryan O'Reilly, a good candidate. I just don't think he'll win. I do think Couturier will end up there as long as Philadelphia doesn't have a really drop out of the race. I'll lift for this one. Next one is the Calder Trophy. Cale Makar from Colorado, Quinn Hughes of Vancouver, and Victor Olofsson of Buffalo. Those are the top three. I'm hoping by the end of the year, our own Nick Suzuki is able to knock one of those guys out of there. It's a big mountain for him to climb to do it, but he's centering the second line now. And I think the possibility is there. But we have Makar, Hughes, and Olofsson. Honestly, it doesn't matter what Suzuki does. I don't think he's going to win it. I think Cale Makar is going to win it, or Hughes. It's going to be between one of those two. I don't think anybody else is going to have a good enough season unless their seasons totally bottom out, which I don't think that'll happen. But I think it'll go to Makar. Next one, there's one down here. That's the Lady Bing, which is, I believe, the most gentlemanly player. So it's Nathan McKinnon, voted in number 1 from Colorado. Austin Matthews, number 2 from Toronto, and Ryan O'Reilly from St. Louis for number 3. I don't know. Honestly, here, I don't know. I guess McKinnon will win it. I don't have a feel for that one. Who's gentlemanly and who's not. I really don't. Next one up, up top here on the next row, is the Vezina. For the Vezina, Connor Hellebuck right now from Winnipeg is number 1. Ben Bishop from Dallas, number 2. And Darcy Kemper from Arizona, number 3. I believe Kemper right now is injured because I have him in one of my hockey pools. I believe he's injured. I think if Kemper can come back and continue the way he has been playing, that he probably moves up on this board here into number 1. But if not, I do believe, depending on how Winnipeg's last 30-odd games go, I think Hellebuck takes this. But I do really think that if Kemper can come back and continue the way he's been playing, I think Kemper can win this. I have him in a hockey pool. He's done better for me than I would have thought till he got injured. That's for sure. So I really do think he can come back and play his way up there, especially if Winnipeg doesn't get their way back into a playoff spot. Next up is the Jack Adams, which is for the best coach of the year, and definitely. I'm not saying that Claude Julien is a horrible coach, but I mean he's not in there. And I was saying in another video that if John Tortorella isn't in the Jack Adams at the end of the year, if Columbus makes the playoffs, then something's wrong with this. And he's in the midseason. He's number 2. So we got Mike Sullivan as number 1, voted number 1 from Pittsburgh, and definitely deserving of that because Pittsburgh's been decimated by injuries, and he's kept them in a playoff spot. So smoke and mirrors, I don't know what he's been doing, but definitely deserving to be in number 1. And definitely next up, John Tortorella definitely deserves to be there. Nobody would have thought Columbus could even be in a playoff race, never mind be in a playoff spot at midseason still. No way would have thought that. So he deserves this nomination here. And I'll tell you what, if Pittsburgh falls out by chance and Columbus remains in a playoff spot, then Tortorella is going to win that. Craig Berube is the third one. He's St. Louis's coach. If he can keep St. Louis as the first overall, like the President's Trophy winner, first overall, he's got a shot at it. Got to agree, he's got a shot at it, and he's doing a great job there. I believe. I'm trying to think where he played. He's a player from my day. I can't remember where he played. I don't know why I'm lifting this. We can see this one. Next up is the Jim Gregory Award, newly named this year, and it's for the best GM in the league. Number 1 is Joe Sakic from Colorado. Number 2 is John Chayka from Arizona. And number 3 is, and I didn't write his first name because I know his name and I don't remember his first. Doug Armstrong. There you go. Came back to me. Doug Armstrong from St. Louis. I think if the season plays out the way it is right now, Sakic wins. If not, I'll tell you what, I think if Arizona makes the playoff, well, I guess it's not going to be based on playoffs, but if he gets them there in a strong position, if that team gets there, I think Chayka has a chance. And of course, Armstrong too. I mean, St. Louis, look what they're. So I guess, it's still not decided, but I think Sakic is going to win it. Now, the next one is the Rod Langway, which is not an actual award at the end of the year, but should be because it's for the best defensive defenseman. So not the guy who gets the points, but the guy who really helps your team just as much. So first is Jacob Slavin. Slavin, you can't really tell. Looks whatever. It's my writing from Carolina. Don't know a lot about him, but I know all the talk I hear about him is fantastic. I'm not a big Canes fan, but that's a personal issue between me and the Canes fans over a video I did. And but I only hear really good things about Slavin, and every time I've seen him play, he's played well. So he's probably going to win that award. Victor Hedman is next from Tampa Bay. Victor Hedman, everyone knows how good he is. And Roman Josi is there as well from Nashville. And it's funny because Roman Josi is also on the north side. So that just shows you how good an actual defenseman Roman Josi is, because not only has he got the offense, he's got the defense as well. So he's the all-around defenseman as well. So that's interesting to see. Next, and I believe the last one is the Comeback Player of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year first is William Nylander from Toronto, which everyone knew he was going to have a comeback year after that, missing the half of the season contract and everything, that he had a lousy season last year. We knew he was going to come back. To what extent? That was the only thing. Anthony Duclair of Ottawa, next up, and our ex-captain from Montreal, Max Pacioretty of the Vegas Golden Knights, having a really good season over there. Nice to see that Max is having a good season and makes a run here at the comeback player. More than likely, Nylander keeps it, because unless his play drops off, because it's not based on how the team does getting to the playoffs. It's just based on the player's performance. I think he keeps that there. I don't see the other two catching. I don't know. I just think Nylander is going to end up getting it. So there you go. Those are the Professional Hockey Writers Awards. Came out today or yesterday or something. I thought it would make a good video. I just figured a lot of you guys might not have heard about this. I didn't really know about it till I saw something about it, and then I'm like preparing the video, and I see, boom, a notification. The hockey guy did a video on it. So if you see the hockey guy's video, I was kind of working on it when that happened. So I hadn't filmed, obviously, but I was working on it. So there you go. So that's I'm just bringing that to you. So if you like the video, give a thumbs up. While you're on the way down there to do that, subscribe, ring the notifications bell if you haven't already, and that'll get you your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge from me at Talking Habs. And I think that's it. So thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. Peace out, and I'll see you next video. Bye, y'all.